Have you ever felt like you were born in a family, community, friend group, workplace, or even a culture where everyone else seemed to follow rules that make absolutely no sense to you? Like everyone else around you is comfortable pretending that things are okay, when in reality, you know that things are not okay. If so, you may be a cycle breaker. And if you're a cycle breaker, there's a good chance that you spend years wondering if there is something wrong with you. You've probably been called too sensitive, too much, too intense, too emotional, not enough. When in reality, you were just seeing things that other people couldn't notice. When I was younger, in fact, not so younger, even 4 years ago, I was the one trying to adapt so I could fit in. I was trying to have so many different types of friend groups just so I can be accepted by people, just so I can fit somewhere, at least someone could see me through their own lens, because I was actually adapting to each group and each group was so different from each other. I was shape shifting so I could be accepted because I couldn't see myself fitting into the mold, fitting into the crowd. I learned to perform, to be great at adapting. I learned how to be the person that other people needed me to be while abandoning my own needs. But underneath all of that, there was a quiet feeling, an intuition that I couldn't access at that point, that there has to be another way. There has to be my own way. I realized that there was nothing wrong with me, even though I spent my whole childhood, my whole teen years, even 4 years ago, I thought there was something wrong with me, even though that wasn't true. Even though the true issue is that I was trying to belong in systems, environments that required self-abandonment from me. And so, like myself, most cycle breakers grow up thinking there is something wrong with them because no one around them seemed to understand them, get them, or even create the conditions for them to feel accepted. Even if other people don't get you, they didn't create the conditions for you to feel accepted. Chances are this is their own projection because they never felt accepted, but that's not the point of this video. So most cycle breakers grow up believing that their difference is a flaw, that there is a big problem with them because they are different than other people. But what if your difference is actually your greatest gift? Because most of what you thought as weird, eccentric, anything that I was also told growing up is your greatest superpower. What if? Have you used that to your advantage? Have you used that by allowing that to shine your light? Have you used that to help people? Because this is the only way that you can figure it out. This is the only way that you can provide evidence to your subconscious mind and to your nervous system, evidence that your weirdness is your greatest gift. Because cycle breakers often question unhealthy norms, notice emotional undercurrents, feel the impact of generational patterns, and refuse passing that pain forward to the next generations. So the very thing you were trying to fix, you were trying to hide, might be your superpower, might be your gift. You're here to show your light to the world. You're here to trust and allow that to be your superpower, to shine your light. Another point is that they feel so exhausted, and this is because most cycle breakers, they've been carrying emotions from generations back. They've been carrying their pain. They've been carrying generations of unspoken expectations. And now you might think everybody carries that. This is just generational trauma, right? But no. Cycle breakers carry that and they can see through that. Other people are ignorant to that. They hide through that. They repress that. They cannot see through that. But cycle breakers have this unique ability and gift that they can see through that. They are usually empathetic. And they are not here to accept that. They refuse to pass this unnecessary suffering to themselves and to the next generations. So they know that it stops with them one way or another. And this is the irony. This is why they are so exhausted. They learn to keep the peace, to don't rock the boat, to hide their true weirdness, to don't disappoint anyone, and to not be too much or not enough. And here's the truth. Breaking those patterns creates an internal conflict. The conflict of wanting to be free from all of those past woundings and at the same time being afraid of not belonging anymore. In fact, this is the biggest wound of us cycle breakers. Even though that belonging within that family, within that workplace, within that friend group, like the friend groups I used to have, it's superficial and fake belonging. It is not belonging based on your truth, on your true self, on your authenticity. It's belonging based on your fake persona, based on the mask you created in order to be not too much, accepted, and fit inside those groups. Because this is what you were trained to believe, that you cannot shine your light because you're going to be rejected. Because when you are rejected from your own tribe, like I was, you develop a dangerous idea around how the world operates. You develop an unsafe idea around how the world operates. You think that everybody out there is a threat, is trying to get to you. And that is embedded into our subconscious mind. We cannot see it until we see it. But once you see it, your whole world, your whole perception around safety and the world being a dangerous place transforms. This is where growth happens the moment you address this internal conflict. When you learn that the world is safe, you allow yourself to shine your light. And this is where everything changes. You start belonging for your truth, for your weirdness. This is why healing is not about becoming someone new. No, healing is about coming back home to yourself. Healing is about stop abandoning your true, authentic self. This is why I called my brand Coming Back Home to Yourself. Because it's not about creating a new self. It's about unpeeling all of those conditionings, all of those unspoken family expectations, all of those cultural expectations and roles that were unhealthy to begin with. Because who taught you to be this way, to perform? Who taught you you needed to perform to be accepted? Healing is returning to who you were before all of those survival strategies. And if cycle breakers don't heal, they often recreate the same patterns they were trying to escape from. And this is not about blaming anyone. I myself have been recreating the same survival strategies within my life, within myself, before starting the inner work journey, before starting to truly being more of my authentic true self, to truly unpeel all of those survival strategies. Because this is what happens. Unexamined survival strategies run the show. People pleasing, perfectionism, overworking, indecision, burnout, overthinking. All of that are forms of self-abandonment and not allowing your shine to light. But imagine trusting yourself, speaking your truth without feeling guilty, setting boundaries without feeling guilty, resting without having to earn that, building relationship, fulfilling relationship that doesn't require shrinking yourself, and creating a life that reflects who you truly are in your core, that reflects your truth, because that's possible. This is exactly when healing moves from awareness to embodiment. You stop being trapped in those survival strategies. Now, if you want to know more about survival strategies, I have a full YouTube playlist which takes you from survival strategies into self-leadership. I fully break down the 4 main survival strategies, which is perfectionism, overthinking, indecision, and people-pleasing. So feel free to binge watch that. I will leave the link down below. Now, I want to leave you with this. If you felt different, like an outsider, the black sheep of your family, the cycle breaker, the weird one, if you felt like You always carried the weight of wanting to change the patterns nobody else saw besides you. This is for you. I want you to hear this and allow that to register in your body and into your whole being. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. Your awareness is not a burden. Your depth is not a flaw. The very thing that made you feel different may be the very thing that allows you to shine your light. And maybe, and that might be the most important thing you're gonna hear today, maybe you're not the outsider because you don't belong. Maybe you're the outsider because you were meant to build something new for the world. This is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that helped you, and I will see you soon. Bye.